And now let's welcome back to the show Republican State Representative Holly Cheeseman, ranking Republican on the Finance, Revenue, and Bonding Committee. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, as always.
Listen, you were pretty disappointed in the plan that advanced this week for a number of reasons. In fact, you've been quoted as saying as though you thought it was pretty stingy. Why?
Well, I thought the governor's plan was pretty stingy, and certainly what came out of the Finance Committee I thought was even less generous in terms of what we can give back to our taxpayers. Look, half a percentage point cut is good, but more is better. And what came out of the Finance Committee, if you're a married couple filing jointly, you'll get less than $1 a day in income tax relief. I think that's fairly derisory, particularly given what we're seeing in terms of surpluses. We put, by the end of the year, close to $8 billion toward paying down our pension debt, which is great. But the real beneficiaries of that are state employees. When are we going to give something back to our hardworking taxpayers?
And to be eligible here, you need to earn less than $200,000 individually. Governor Lamont's plan had capped eligibility at $500,000. So how could this scaled back plan hurt the state? Because the governor really did want this to apply to some wealthier folks.
Yes, and you know what? I am not necessarily opposed to capping that, having more recapture, because let's face it, if you're at that upper end of the income scale, an extra $200 a year, which is what it might be for them, is not going to make a big difference. But if you're down at the lower end, I think the governor's plan was looking at something like $400 or $500 for people, joint filers making up to $200,000, $600. You're talking about real money there.
Committee Chair Maria Horn has defended the tax cut plan, citing the other tax cuts in the bill. Of course, there's the increase in the earned income tax credit, but there's no child tax credit here as well.
And I think for many Democrats, that was a sticking point. I think the fact that you saw a committee meeting that was supposed to start at 10 a.m. in the morning, not actually reconvene until 6 p.m. at night, indicates some of the discussions, quote unquote, that were going on within the Democrat caucus. I know there were a lot of people disappointed the child tax credit wasn't in there. I think increasing the EITC was the way to get around from that. But look, we've seen record inflation, huge increases in the cost of living, real impacts on our residents. And I think given the state's financial situation, we can do more to put more money back in their pocket. After all, it's their money.
How much is the spending cap that the governor wants? How much is that hampering efforts here? Very quickly.
Obviously it is, but that's the spending side. We're talking about the revenue side. And this is the beginning of the conversation, as you well know.
All right, State Representative Holly Cheeseman, thank you so much for being here again. It's great to see you as always.